Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm Andy RC and today I'm going to be checking out the full speed FSD TX200, which is a VTX that you can fix onto the back of your Runcam Micro Swift or the Micro Swift 2, and it turns it into a very tiny and capable all-in-one CCD camera, which is something that I think we are all asking for, because the quality of this camera is just so much better than the other all-in-one cameras. And what is great about this is it's also power switchable, so it switches between 25 milliwatt and 200 milliwatt. It has 48 channels on the 5.8 gigahertz frequency, and it has a huge voltage range as well. So I've actually added this little 1.25 pitch JST connector on here. It doesn't come with that, so it is designed to solder direct to your copter. Now they say the voltage range is 6 volts up to 17 volts, so up to a 4S battery. However, I've tested it and it works fine off 5 volts, so I'm going to be running this off 5 volts, and it comes in this little package here. So this weighs 8.1 grams altogether, which is extremely light, and the VTX on its own weighs just 2.3 grams, so again very light. So in the package you get a manual. Now the manual isn't very good, but that's why I'm here, isn't it, so that I can explain some of the stuff a little bit better. But essentially it comes with some of these little O-rings and some longer screws, and what you have to do is remove the 2 screws that are in the Runcam, and then very carefully replace them with these longer ones, and then add 3 of these O-rings in the middle, and that is so that none of the boards touch. And then we've got this little button here that controls everything. You're also given a sleeve dipole antenna that is detachable, and that fits on quite strongly. Actually, I guess you could lose it, so you might want to put some electrical tape on there, maybe not hot glue because it will heat up when the thing powers up. So yeah, we just have this connector here, and there's some electrical tape on there as well. We have this little cable here. It looks like a 3-pin 1.25 pitch JST connector. Now this is the Micro Swift version 1 that I've got here without the on-screen display, but this will work with the on-screen display version as well. The only difference is if you want to use the V sensor on the Swift 2, then this connector here is too close to the next pin, so what you would have to do is maybe replace this little connector here with a 4-pin 1.25 pitch JST connector, which would be very easy to do. Or you can just use the voltage that's coming through it, because this here just sends the voltage through the VTX to the camera. So the Micro Swift 2, I think if you don't plug the V sensor in, it just takes the voltage straight from the connector here, so the voltage in there. So you could do that, but yeah, you'd have to do a little bit of modification if you wanted to use the Swift 2 and the V sensor at the same time. Of course, as well, you can tap into this if you want to put a on-screen display between it there. So you would run this cable here to your flight controller with the on-screen display, and that would go into your video in, and then the video out then would be using this connector. So yeah, very versatile, but I'm not going to use it like that today. I'm just going to use it as an all-in-one camera, and I'm going to put it on my Lady X, or the Owl X was it called, and this is just going to slot in here very nicely. That's just going to sort of tension fit in there, and then I've got a little tiny JST connector there to plug into there, and it's going to work very nicely. So what I want to do next is plug it in and explain how to change the power and the channels and the bands because it's not very clear in the instructions, but it works very well. Okay, so I've got everything plugged in here. Like I said, I've just got this little JST connector coming off the 5-volt regulator, and everything's powering up fine. Of course, I could run this directly off the battery as well. Another good thing with this, because a lot of the all-in-one CMOS cameras require 5 volts, not this one, so that's really good. I've just got a 2S battery plugged in here, but I'm going to be flying it on a 3S battery. By the way, I'll put a link in the description to this model. It's a very nice model by Flex RC. So I'll just explain the controls here. So we have got this little button on the side there, which is recessed, and you are going to need maybe a screwdriver to press it, or just get your nails in there like I'm able to here. So can you see this blue light here? Now when the blue light is on constantly, that means that we are on channel 8 of the currently selected band, and if I press it again, it'll go off, and that's channel 1, and then anything in between, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and when you're on 8 it will constantly be showing blue. So not the most efficient way of showing the individual channels. If you're in the middle, for example, you'll have to count along, but again, we're dealing with very lightweight stuff here, so a LED on the back here would just mean more weight, so I understand why they've done that. And then if you want to go through the different bands, it is a 3-second press, I think they say, and then you see that this light here will then move along, and then that is going through the individual bands. And then if you want to change the power output, then that is a 6-second press. So if I just leave that there, so all of the lights on here, that's 200 milliwatt. And then if I press it again, just 3 of the lights is 25 milliwatt, and I'm gonna fly it on 25 milliwatt today. So yeah, the instructions aren't very clear on that, so I hope that helped if you are investing in this VTX, which I thoroughly recommend that you do. Okay, so here's some DVR footage taken from my Fat Shark Dominator HT3s, and sadly the lower bitrate on the DVR doesn't really show the significance in picture quality between a all-in-one CMOS camera and this combination, but I can tell you, looking through the goggles, it is a significant improvement, to the point where I'm just going to go ahead and buy a load of these VTXs, because I really struggle to find any issues with it. I think it would be nice if we had the option of a Cloverleaf antenna that we could buy separate for it. Of course you could make one up. You can see I'm getting a little bit of breakup here, but I was really impressed with the reception, considering I'm running 25 milliwatts and it's a sleeve dipole antenna. We have got the Cloverleaf antenna protector on this model, which will be causing some of the breakup. Yet still, I thought the picture quality was really good. So the amp draw, I think it depends on the input voltage, and of course it changes as well, but I didn't notice a significant amp draw from it. I think they say at 6 volts it can draw between 250 milliamp up to 550 milliamp, but I got like a 5-minute flight time anyway with this setup, which is the same as what I get with a CMOS camera, so no complaints there. And just look at this, I'm flying behind myself here and trying to attempt to fly through the trees, but yeah, very minimal breakup. I would expect it to completely be wiped out, but I guess I'm used to the all-in-one CMOS cameras, which have a huge amount of breakup. So there's no actual audio on this VTX, if that's a problem for you, but it's certainly not for me. I don't like to have audio coming from my copter. I tend to find that it distracts me with the amount of noise that gets scrambled in the breakup anyway. So yeah, but a fantastic VTX, and you will probably know that I'm a big fan of Full Speed in general. I like their products and their models, and this is another great product from them. So I'll link in the description if you wish to get one, and as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.
And know that, no, there was a time when we never let